Let's see, we're gonna do ally growth, weapon refine, and obviously we're gonna check Micaiah first. Alright. Effective against armored and cavalry foes, res +3. At start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than 75, or penalties active on foe, grants all stats +4 to unit during combat, and grants bonus to stats during combat equal current penalty on each of. Okay. And there's a refine effect on top of that. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack res +6 to unit during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. So, just more stats, which is fine, I guess. Honestly, the guaranteed follow-up is pretty cool. I'll take it. I forget what my theory craft was. I think my theory craft was like no follow-up, which would have been really nice for her, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't really help her against Vector. I mean, I guess it does give her 10 more attack, so that's nothing to sneeze at. In practice, I think it'll be good. I think it's just compared to, like, Celica and Vector last year, it's not as big of an upgrade. Because Micaiah, well, actually, I guess effectively it is kind of a no follow-up, because you're negating, like, their effects that prevent your follow-up attack. So in that sense, it's actually okay. I think it's good. It's not going to break everything, but it's not going to help her against Vector, but I mean, I was going to continue using her in Arena regardless, so yeah. So there's Micaiah. Pretty cool. Thankfully, the refined icon is not ugly, which I appreciate. This one, I don't know, I have mixed feelings on this one. I have mixed feelings on this one, and especially this one. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Well, obviously the Brave Micaiah Refine is the one I care most about, but we do have other ones. We have Brave Alm. Let's look at him. If they actually gave him, like, the theory craft that I came up with, that'd be pretty funny. Here we go. Looks like Windsweep. Effective against dragon foes. So what is it right now? Dragon effective damage on dragons, attack +3. Right. Okay. Effective against dragon foes. Against attack +3. At start of turn, unit can move 1 extra space! That turn only, does not stack. If unit initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally, grants all stats +5 to unit during combat. I see the posts, but I have not looked at the refines yet. So far, I've only looked at Micaiah, and I'm looking at Alm now. Let's see. Let's do that real quick. Alright, I was reading Alms. Effective damage on dragons, attack +3. Gets 1 extra move at start of combat, or at start of turn. If unit initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally, grants all stats +5. So that's replacing this effect that was on his original weapon, which is good. At start of combat, if unit HP is greater than 25, grants all stats +5 to unit during combat. And also, if foe uses sword, lance, axe, bow, dagger, or beast, and unit speed is greater than foe's speed, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, and foe cannot counterattack. That's pretty good. I'm glad they kept him as more of an enemy phase unit. I think some of these effects are still active on on enemy phase. Or is not adjacent to an ally. Yeah. Yeah, actually a lot of that is active during enemy phase anyway. So you could slap distant counter on him. I think it's interesting that he still has like the normal speed condition for his wind sweep. Because his base speed, I guess it's like 35. Yeah, I guess it's fine actually. His speed is workable, and plus you're getting +10 speed from his weapon, so it's pretty good. Yeah, he needed a pretty big boost to save him. Not to mention the fucking extra move. Like, that's pretty big too. Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, he can activate Wind Sweep and still do follow-up attacks. That's another thing. Neutralizes effects to prevent units' follow-up attacks, and foe cannot counterattack. Didn't expect Brave Alm to get like a fire sweep condition. That's pretty cool. next up, let's look at Eliwood. So far, both are pretty good. I think Alm got the biggest upgrade. Yeah, Brave Alm has foe cannot counterattack. He has wind sweep. Thank you for following, Moonrammer. Yeah, Alm is popping off. That's right, yeah. Not just can't follow up. It is straight up cannot counterattack. Eliwood was a unit I used for a long time in AR. I like this green triangle here in the icon. Alright. Before, he had effective damage on dragons and beasts, speed +3, and +4 to all stats if he initiates combat. Effective against dragon foes and beast foes, speed +3. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, whatever. Why are you enemy phasing things with Eliwood? But whatever. It gets +5 to all stats to unit and neutralizes effects to prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. So that's really useful. Helps him kill armors, like armor dragons especially. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants +5 to stats again. That's kind of stupid. To unit during combat, and also if unit speed is greater than foe's speed, reduces damage from foe's attacks during combat. Oh, so he gets speed-based damage reduction. That's pretty good. It kind of reminds me of, like, the Blazing Durandal Refine, but instead of getting +10 defense, you're just getting a bunch of damage reduction. Also, you're getting +10 to all stats, which is ridiculous. Like, the Blazing Durandal Refine came out, and we were like, holy shit, it has +7 speed and +10 defense. This has +10 to everything. It's insanely strong. So that's really good. They did not hold back on these refines. I appreciate that this doesn't necessarily outclass OG Eliwood, since he still gets specials easier. Yeah, that's true. Brave Eliwood can kill Fallen Edelgard? I would say so. I think with the damage reduction, well, okay. If she counters with a bonfire, then it'll hurt, but hopefully with the damage reduction he can still live. Also, his defense isn't, like, bad. Alright. Whoa, this icon is new. Sangrior. Foe cannot counterattack. If unit initiates combat, grants attack speed +4 during combat. Inflicts gravity. So this is all the same so far, except they added one more attacking speed. At start of turn, inflicts defense, res -7 on foes within 3 columns or 3 rows, centered on a unit through their next actions. What the fuck? If unit initiates combat, grants attack speed +6 to unit during combat. That's really good. Just... well, hold on. Yeah, 3 columns and 3 rows. That range is huge. Wow. Yeah, I've been using her as, like, kind of a support unit in AR offense, and now she can do that a little better. So that's pretty cool. They did not hold back on these refines. They were all pretty good. I want all of them, honestly, but I don't know if I have enough Divine Dew. Additionally, we have Kana and Ephraim and Lynn, but I don't have those guys, so we're going to have to pull that up here. Flame Sigmund. Attack +3 if unit initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally. Grants attack defense +4 to unit during combat, and unit makes guaranteed follow-up attack. So similar to what he had before. If unit initiates combat... oh, so literally as long as he initiates combat, he gets the auto-double. Okay, great. Just to make it super easy. Before it was like, have more enemies around you. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25, it inflicts attack defense -5 on foe, and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack. That's really good. So basically, he's just an even better Gale Force user now. I forget what the new Solar Brace does already, but I remember thinking that it made him a better Gale Force unit, so I think that combined with this is going to make him pretty good. Alright, did they fix Lyn? Let's find out. Effective against flying foes, res +3. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +5. And also, during combat, disables skills of all foes, excluding foe in combat. That's kind of neat. It's like Bramimon's thing. I like that. It's unique to her, yeah. Well, unique to her and Bramimon. If a unit initiates combat, or a foe's HP is greater than 20 or 75, deals damage equal to 15% of unit speed, and grants attack speed +5 during combat. I think in the end she made out pretty well, because remember her new A-slot skill, it gives her like Fire Sweep, where they can't counterattack if she's faster. Yeah, not to mention the true damage with speed. I think she made out pretty well, honestly. She won't score as well in Arena, because she's like an old legendary and she doesn't have like the virtual BST thing, but the people who already invested in her are going to be happy because she's just a much better combat unit now. Conflicts with G Duel 4, yeah. I like this though. This is actually like a unique, almost unique effect that they gave her, as opposed to everyone else who just got like no follow-up and other things. I guess Camilla's Refine is pretty unique, but Micaiah, again. Dual 3 skills as seals? It's gonna happen, you know it will. I don't know about that. I wouldn't have guessed that that was gonna happen. Alright, so female Kana got a really good refine. It was like low attack speed. If foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is greater than 75, grants +4 to all stats to unit during combat. If foe's range equals 2, adaptive damage. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants +4 to all stats to unit during combat, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. I don't know, man, that's a lot of stats. +8 to all stats is good, but I think people maybe would have wanted more, like nullifying buffs on the foe, or maybe nullifying debuffs on Kana. The 7 HP after combat is nice. 7 HP per hit would have also been really good. That's true. He just gets a bunch of stats. So like, Alm and Eliwood both, they just get +10 to all stats during combat now. And then Micaiah, where did Micaiah go? Where is she? She gets +4 to all stats. But then she gets +10 attack and res, which I guess is predictable. Which one doesn't seem balanced? Should be +15? Ah, I see. Yeah, I think Alm is the greatest improvement, just because he was pretty bad before. Now he gets Wind Sweep, and he gets a bunch of stats, and he gets to move in extra space. So that's all pretty good. Not to mention he still has his unique A-slot skill, which gives him like true damage based on his attack. Now he has +10 attack, 10 more attack to work with. I think Eliwood also got a pretty good improvement. This is just going to help him fight armors and stuff, so... Also, I don't think we have a cavalry unit with speed-based damage reduction. So that is relatively unique to him. Already had it on him. Figured I'd check just to check. Alm's Refine does not stack with Odd Tempest. You only get the single +1. It's unfortunate that you gave him Odd Tempest in that case, but hey, now you have a free C slot to work with. I think a good C slot for him could be like, I guess he already has attack speed threaten, which is okay, but then you could also do like attack speed menace. Wondering how many things can outspeed these guys so they don't get the effect. Just like other modern units that also get a bunch of speed during combat. Like every hyper offense unit these days that gets like attack speed +6 on their perf. If unit initiates combat, grants attack speed +6. It's on everything. My theory crafts were... Actually, I think I did okay. Thank you for following the oral legacy. I guess I predicted the +1 move on Alm, and I predicted the no follow-up on Ephraim. I don't know if Ephraim has no follow-up. I was talking about Eliwood. I might have said Ephraim by mistake. Just came from YouTube? Awesome. Happy to have you. Yeah, user finds are pretty good. I would say I'm basically satisfied. This guaranteed follow-up on Micaiah. Yeah, literally, as long as she initiates combat, she just gets the guaranteed follow-up. She doesn't even need, like, an HP condition. So, yeah, that will help her against a lot of units that she struggled with. Anything that would have negated her follow-up before, she now has an easier time with. Not to mention she just has more stats, which is always good. I don't know how I would... Okay, I think Kana's has to be the worst. Like, +8 to all stats is cool, but that's literally it. I don't know. Big fan of this refine, though. I'll need to rework a couple things. For Alm, you mean, but that's fine by me. Definitely answered the question for me whether I should use Brave or Legendary Alm. Yeah, Brave Alm is definitely workable now. You can do some cool stuff with him now.